Hello there, people of the internet. We are out here at the old gun range today, as you can see. This is not an old video. I just so happen to be up here in North Florida doing some adventuring, and I figured I'd come out to the gun range. I have my 4570 Trapdoor Springfield out here with me. I shot it yesterday, and I made a couple of videos on it, but whenever I was shooting yesterday, I did some testing with M855 A1 and M80 A1, and I shot some ballistics gel with it. Well, I knew that I would be around today as well, so I melted the ballistics gel down, and I stuck it back in the little Tupperware that I was using, and now we have another round of ballistics gel. That's a spider. That's a large spider. I'm gonna move this guy out of my way before he finds his way on my back. Perfect. Yeah, get out of here. He's still there. Dude, listen to me. You don't want to be there. Trust me, it's bad real estate. There we go. That got him out of there. But anyway, I shot this a bunch, and it was already really old to begin with, and yesterday whenever I shot it with like M80 especially, it absolutely blew it apart. So we got little bits of like grass in here and little bits of metal, and I got drunk the other night, and I had burned it whenever I was trying to melt this down that one night. But it's fresh out of the fridge, so it's nice and solidified. And if I could just separate it from this gelatin mold I'm using, perfect. Fantastic. You can actually see the copper jackets from my last shooting of this thing. So it's not very clear. It wasn't very clear to begin with, but it's not very clear, and it's definitely seen better days. It's got grass and debris inside of it. But I want to go ahead and shoot this with my 4570 just to see what would happen. This is basically going to be a just for fun kind of thing, but I think it's going to be a fun thing. So I shot my 4570 Springfield yesterday, and I knew that I was going to take it out today and shoot it, so I didn't bother cleaning it. Is it sprinkling out here? By Jove, it looks like we have ourselves a little rain shower. But I knew that I would be shooting it today, so I didn't bother cleaning it. So before we take our shot at this thing, just in case there is any kind of buildup inside of the barrel just from sitting overnight being uncleaned, I'm going to go ahead and fire a round at our steel target out there, in case a round keyholes or something like that. This way we can be sure that we're probably going to hit our target here. What we're using today, the 4570, these are a 425 grain bullet behind 70 grains of black powder. Now the black powder is homemade powder, and it is corned. Corned black powder is not as powerful as the pressed powder that you would get off of the store shelves. So this gunpowder here is probably going to have the equivalent power of 60 grains of gunpowder versus the 70. Although it has 70 grains by volume, the weight probably would come out to about 60 grains. So it's going to have approximately 60 grains worth of power behind it versus that 70 grains that it actually has. So I'm going to set this out there. We're going to shoot the steel, reload, and then shoot this before it warms up, because we're in Florida and it's hot out here and I'm sweating, and this right here is already starting to warm up. Let me grab a piece of wood to set it on. I hate handling ballistics gel because it just makes everything all sticky. Now let me check this for critters, make sure there's nothing alive inside of them. Alright, grab us our 4570 cartridge here. Open this bad boy up. I'm going to go ahead and aim for our steel silhouette out there. I'm not sure if you guys can see that on camera with where I have my grill set, but trust me, I can see it, and it's going to get shot. Well, I hit it. It's definitely seen better days, that's for sure. I have no idea where I hit it because I was shooting the ever-living hell out of it yesterday. Now that we got that done, I want to be absolutely certain that I hit that gel block. So I'm actually going to get nice up close and personal with it whenever I hit it with this thing. There's nothing really to ricochet out of that and hit me, so I should be okay. But just in case, don't try this at home. I don't know how this is going to look on camera. Maybe I'll try zooming something in. Alright, well, we smacked our gel block, and I mean, it's just a really heavy piece of lead moving. Well, it's fast for a heavy piece of lead, but it went right through the gel block and smacked into our grill, and that is where most of the damage was done. Here's our entrance wound, and I have no idea how well this is going to come up on camera, but it looks like we did have a little bit of tumbling in there, because there was some damage done, but it's definitely not the damage that we saw from like that M80A1 stuff that I had shot yesterday. So now, let me try something else. I'm going to see if I can find like something to destabilize the bullet a little bit, or like break it up some, like a piece of ceramic. And I'll set it on this thing, we'll hit that, and we'll see what kind of damage that does. I'm glad to see this penetration though, because that didn't even slow it down. And I'm probably going to take this thing hunting this upcoming year, because it would be cool to knock out a boar or something with a 4570. All right, let me go set this back down, and I'm going to see what I can find to punch through, and we'll see if we can do a little bit more damage to this thing. All right, new plan versus that play. I have my 8mm Mauser. This is chambered in 7.62 Setme, but 7.62 NATO for all intents and purposes. And I have some 7.62 NATO, or I have some 308 black powder rounds loaded up. I fired this with black powder yesterday, and I didn't clean it because I knew I was going to come out here and shoot it again today. So I'm going to, just like with the trapdoor, send a round at the steel out there just to clean out the barrel. I compared these in a different video, but I want to put the 308 black powder on ballistic gel just to see what it looks like. I'm sure that it's just going to poke a hole right through it, but I won't know until I actually, see the results. So we're going to load up around here. These are 150 grain projectiles behind 57 grains of corned black powder. So it's going to have about the equivalent power of maybe 50 grains of gunpowder, like regular commercial grade gunpowder. Turn this way. So I'm just going to aim at my steel silhouette that I got out there, and then we'll go for our gel. Yeah, well, we hit it. This right here is just not as powerful as our 4570 loads, which makes sense. It's a much, much lighter weight bullet, and it is a much less or much smaller charge. Okay, now that we've sent around at our steel, I'm going to load one in here and walk out to our gel so I can be absolutely positive that I'm going to nail that bad boy where I want to nail it. And we will see what it looks like. Okay, well, I nailed it with my 308. And I gotta say, I'm kind of surprised at how little of a difference there is between the two wound cavities. The wound cavity for the 4570 is ever so slightly wider, but they look gosh darn identical. We have maybe, I don't know, an inch of wound cavity from both of these bullets. It looks like my 308 round, once it hit the gel, it started to tumble, which makes sense. It's a flat nose round, traveling relatively slow. I'm actually quite impressed with that. I gotta say, I'm quite impressed with that. My 308 black powder round did quite well. It's extremely similar to that 4570. I was not expecting that at all. The 4570 does look like it is ever so slightly wider. Oh, I can't see anything right there. It does look like it is ever so slightly wider. I have no idea how well that's going to turn out on camera, but that's extremely good for what I was expecting. I was expecting the 308 rounds to essentially look like a 22 or something past through this. Wow. All right, cool. Now I'm going to go find some kind of medium that I can send through this. Or maybe I should go grab a Full Metal Jacket 5.56 before I tear this up too much. I want to see what a Full Metal Jacket 5.56 does to this thing. I tested the M855 the other day, and it was extremely impressive. But I want to test it with Full Metal Jackets. Alright, I was just going to do like 4570 for this video, but now that I got the gel, I'm just going to test a bunch of different calibers, I guess. I also have 9mm hollow points. Oh, that's going to be a fun one. Alright, at this point, I'm basically just having fun, and I hope that you guys are enjoying having this fun experience with me. But boy, is it hot, and I got bit by so many different things, I don't even know what they are. I went ahead and I moved our grill a little closer, This way it's out of the sun and hopefully my ballistics gels doesn't melt whenever I set it down on it. Okay, so I have a couple of other things for us here. I have my Zastava M88A and some hollow points loaded inside of it, 9mm. I have no idea what grainage these are. They don't appear to be plus P. They just say FC, so they might be Fiocchi hollow points. Not sure. So no idea what the grainage on these are, but they will make a fun little experience for our ballistics gel. And then I have my Ruger Mini 14 with some Lake City. Well, I have one round of Lake City on top of some tool ammo, and I might send that downrange later. I have Lake City 55 grain 5.56. This is a true 5.56 round versus something like a 223 round. I know that there's some cartridges out there that claim to be 5.56, but they got 223 pressures, and they just don't send that bullet at the velocities that 5.56 is supposed to send a bullet at. So we should get full velocities from this 5.56. And with it being 55 grain, I think that we're going to see some pretty spectacular results with our ballistics gel. And I got this right here. This is an 8mm Mauser. This particular one is a sporterized Turkish Mauser. This is one that I take out hunting and whatnot. And I have 170 grain soft points in this bad boy. So 170 grain 8mm soft points. This is a smokeless powder round. It is a full powered 8mm Mauser round, so it should be pretty gosh darn eventful. We'll save that for last because I don't think our ballistic gel is going to survive that one. Okay, I think first I'm going to go with the 5.56 because I foresee that doing the least amount of damage to our ballistic gel. So we might be able to see what sort of like hole we get from it versus hitting it with something like the 8mm Mauser, then hitting it with the 5.56 really wouldn't matter. Okay, all right, okay, all right, okay. All right, well, let me get this ballistics gel out here. Feels like we got some more sprinkles. What was that? Something crawling on my hand. I've been eating enough. Leave me alone. Go away. Go somewhere else. All right, here's our 5.56 round. I'm going to line myself up with this to where it goes through the entire thing. I'd say right about here is going to be our best spot. Okay. Oh man, that was cool. Never underestimate the power of 5.56. Even the full metal jackets seem to have some pretty gosh darn impressive abilities. All right, well, just like with all the other 5.56 testing I've seen, we got ourselves maybe about 4, maybe 5 inches of travel, and then the bullet fragmented, destabilized, tumbled, flew apart, and we have this massive, massive exit wound. This right here is what 5.56 is well known for. Whenever it gets those velocities, then the bullet just breaks apart, and it is really, really, really good at doing a lot of damage. Now that being said, the M855A1 that I had fired, yeah, it was yesterday, it started tearing things apart like this basically immediately as soon as it entered the gel, and then that penetrator kept going all the way through it. So the M855A1 is definitely more impressive than the lead core stuff, but considering the lead core is, what, 40 to 50 cents a shot versus M855, which is like $3 to $5 a shot, that's not bad. All right, up next, I'm probably going to take this and place it this way because this side of the block isn't that tore up. Next, we'll probably hit it with our 9mm hollow point. We're going to see what kind of expansion we get. Should be fun. All right, just like before, I'm going to get nice up close and personal with it. Wipe some of this ballistics gel off on me because I'd rather it be on my shirt than on my handgun here. And now it's just on both. Fantastic. All right, I'm going to go pull a communist on this thing. All right, let's see what we're looking at right here. Well, our hollow point, I think, went in right here. And it does look like we had expansion with it. But I don't see an exit wound. I see, this is from the 4570. This is from the 308 black powder. And this is from our 5.56. I think our 9mm round is still in there. If we blow it apart, then I'll see if I can find it. Because, yeah, right, here's our entrance, and we have a whole lot of expansion in there. And I don't see it. But, yeah, okay. All right, so I think our 9mm round's still in there. All right, up next we're gonna go for that 8mm Mauser round. Place your bets. Let me know if you guys think that this block is going to survive this one. 170 grain soft point of 8mm Mauser at, oh, I don't know. I'm actually gonna step back a little ways for this one since this is a full powered rifle round. That's a little close even for my taste. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead, load this bad boy up. Hopefully these go off. This right here was ammunition that was stored by a buddy of mine, basically in a shed. No idea if it's gonna actually go off. Let's find out. I'm gonna step back this way. Let's see, where's the front of my gel? It's right there. So if I come back, actually I'd say right about here is about the perfect spot. Hopefully I'm not covering the camera completely here. Alright, let's just go for it here. Actually, I'm gonna turn that block. Alright, with where it is there, if I step right, God, this thing's so hard to see with my bad eyesight. If I step right about here, there we go. I like this spot much better. Alright, now I'm gonna send it. Oh my God! That was incredible. As I anticipated, our gel block did not survive. F in the chat for our fallen block, ladies and gentlemen. Well, this is all that is left of our gel block. Considering the power difference between 4570, which is a pretty gosh darn powerful black powder cartridge, and 8mm Mauser, you can see why they transitioned to smokeless powder. Because, man, like smokeless powder rounds with those fast bullets, especially soft points, that's some power right there. As a matter of fact, I might take this particular load hunting with me because I'm going after some pretty big boar this year. All right, well, I'm just gonna put that right in there, and I reckon I'll have to melt that one down because I can't do anything else with it anymore. Thanks for watching, folks. I appreciate your time. Like, subscribe, share. Description below has a link to all sorts of stuff. Go check it out. You guys go off, have yourself a fantastic day. I'll see you on the next episode. Been a little while since I've done this. Bonnie and Clyde be damned. The poor man's Garrett. It's a shame that bolt-action shotguns aren't more mainstream.